This is the Roller Coaster Podcast, and I'm your host, Lucie Q. Life is a wild ride. It has twists and turns. It's scary, exciting, and downright fun. So throw your head back, arms in the air, and come along with me for the ride.
Life is like a roller coaster, baby, baby. I wanna ride.
Do you hear that whisper? That little voice that tugs at your heart, telling you to start living your best life. If that sounds like you, then now is the time to join Nectar Growth. It's the only place online where you can connect with and learn from great coaches with different areas of expertise. Why live another day not believing that you're enough, not seeing all that is possible for you? Why live another day dimming your own light? Nectar is the perfect place for you to discover the real you and uncover who you're meant to be. Life is a journey that we are not meant to walk alone. Nectar gives you a nurturing and supportive community to walk with you on your journey. Start living your best life and see what is truly possible. Come join us at nectargrowth.com. You know you're worth it.
Ride.
Hey everyone, it's just me for this episode, and I thought I'd just take a few minutes just to catch everyone up with where I've been and what's been going on. Now, you saw that I released episode 200 just a few days ago, and it was really exciting. I'd reached this major milestone. Most podcasts don't make it past 12 episodes, and I'd hit 200, and I was really excited and proud of myself. But the night before I released the episode, I had a bit of a moment. Some panic started to creep in. And I really started to question if I could keep up doing a daily podcast while building Nectar Growth and working full time. I have a lot on my plate, and I could really feel the overwhelm and the weight of it all coming down on me. I took a little bit of time to think about what I was feeling and reflect. And I asked myself, was it the overwhelm of thinking about the future and everything that I need to accomplish? Or was this some sort of form of self-sabotage? I had reached this milestone, and maybe deep down, I'm carrying fear of what might be. And it reminded me of a story I heard a while ago. It's also mentioned in Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. And he talked about being 3 feet from gold. And this is a story of a young man during the gold rush. And after mining for weeks and months, he found some gold, but then the gold seemed to disappear. Eventually, he got frustrated and he quit. He took all of his machinery and equipment and sold it for junk. But the man that bought the equipment from him got some professional advice before taking on this endeavor. And he was told that the gold would be found just 3 feet from where the first guy had stopped. And you know what? He was right. That second miner found a ton of gold just a few feet away from where the other guy had quit. There are a lot of lessons that we can pull from this story, but the one that is speaking to me the most right now is that often just before we reach success, we give up. Because just before we hit that really sweet spot is when things start to get really, really tough. And as humans, when things get tough, we don't like it. And a lot of the times we'll want to give up, throw in the towel, just quit. For me, I knew that I had to dig in and really understand my thought process. I had to explore the source of my self-sabotage. And it didn't take me long to realize it was probably a limiting belief, or maybe even multiple limiting beliefs that were the culprit. Most of us have some sort of limiting belief, and the challenge is to learn how to change them. Our beliefs are filters on the lens through which we see life. Those beliefs shape how we see ourselves. You may see me as worthy. I may see myself as worthless. You may see me as capable. I may see myself as weak. Dr. Bruce Lipton often speaks about limiting beliefs, and he brings his scientific approach to things. And he explains to us that from birth until the age of 6, our brains are constantly downloading massive amounts of information about the world around us and our role in it. We observe the people around us who are typically family. And what we learn in those early years, they become subconscious programs that still influence our mindset and character as adults. So how do we uncover and reset these limiting beliefs? Start by looking at those things that you keep telling yourself. What are those negative stories that you keep repeating? Pay attention to them. Write them down. Then you can look at your list and look for any common elements. Then you can start to turn them into positive affirmations, which is just simply a positive statement to write over the old negative ones that you've been telling yourself. As long as your positive affirmation is in line with your inner values, then you'll be able to reprogram your mind. Another tool to try is acting as if. Basically, faking it until you make it. So when the negative thoughts start to creep up, acknowledge them, but then prove yourself wrong. My heart used to race every time I would hit record for an interview, but I kept going. And after 200 plus interviews, I've pretty much conquered that. But you know what? You know what still scares me when I turn on the mic? That's doing these solo episodes. I don't know why, but I still worry. Am I going to bring value? Am I going to say something dumb? Am I going to be interesting? So, we may get over one fear. We may conquer one limiting belief, but it's going to take time to keep chipping away until you've completely got rid of it, if you ever really do. Louise Hay used to use a process to actually challenge a limiting belief. When a negative thought comes up, ask yourself, is it true? Do you have any proof that that thought has any validity to it? Look for the story behind the belief. If you let them, limiting beliefs will hold you back, and you may never realize your true potential. That can lead to anxiety and depression. Identify and work on changing the beliefs that no longer serve you. For me, I'm going to remind myself of everything that I have accomplished and stop focusing on what could happen in 6 months. I'm just going to focus on today. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Roller Coaster Podcast. Want to chat or share your ideas about today's show? Pop me an email at hello@therollercoasterpodcast.com. Don't forget to connect with me on Facebook and Instagram at The Roller Coaster Podcast. Our theme song, Roller Coaster, was performed by The Lucky Setback. Audio editing by the one and only Jeff Quigley of Quigley Creative.